Good morning, students. So today we start a new chapter number 11, and the name of the chapter is construction. So construction. So obviously the word construction means we need some geometrical instruments like scale, compass, scale, pencil, eraser or protector, isn't it? So with the help of these instruments, easily we can draw some angles like 60-degree, 90-degree, isn't it? Angle bisector, which one already you drawn in class 7, 8. So today we have to discuss here again some angles how to draw, and here the first one is here, which one is represent here as a construction 11.1, and this one is mentioned as what? Bisector of a given angle. Is it clear? The first construction is here, bisector of a given angle. So before we start this bisector, we have to know why actually we use this construction. So if different types of machine in road maps, when we draw a diagram, then obviously there we need some geometrical instruments, is not it? Or in earlier chapters when we draw the diagrams like circle, triangle, parallelogram, just simply we draw, is not it, without any measuring. Now here in construction, what we have to do, we have to draw accurately. So this construction, under this construction part, we have to draw this type of things here. Now if we start the first one, and the first one is here construction 11.1 and mentioned to construct the bisector of a given angle. Bisector means what? When an angle given to us, if this angle easily we separate into two parts, and when we separate this angle into equally two parts without using the protector, with the help of scale and compass, easily we can draw this bisector. So this one we have to discuss here. So now let's start here. The first one is here, what? Bisector. Now to draw a bisector here, first of all what we need an angle, isn't it? So for this what we get here, if you see, this one is a diagram and this one is an angle. So here obviously one angle we get here. Suppose the angle is this one. If we consider the angle is this one, is it clear? So this one is the angle here. So now what we need, we need the bisector here. Bisector means what? How can we represent this angle equally separate into two parts? So first of all what you have to do, first step, what, taking B as a center, and you have to draw two baselines. So the initial point is this one. From here one line we have to draw and another line here we have to draw, and then in between these two one angle create here, isn't it? So angle is this one. So now after what you have to do, the angle is this one, we need the bisector here. So taking B as a center, and now if we draw the angle here, the angle is this one. Is it clear? Now after drawing this angle here, what you have to do, now if you see this arc, if you increase the line here, the angle, this arc bisect BC and BA at two places. One is this one, if you see here, one place is here and another place is here, isn't it? So these two places we have to mark here properly. So after marking these two, now what you have to do here, taking this intersecting point as a center, and now here what you have to do, you have to take 1/3 portion. The total length is this one. From here to here we have to measure with the help of compass. So now here with the help of this compass you have to measure. So that's why here if we measure, this one is the total length, isn't it? So now what you have to do, you have to take 1/3 length. So if you take 1/3 length, then the 1/3 length is this portion. Is it clear? And then what you have to do, you have to draw an arc. So here we draw an arc like in this way. Is it clear? So the same length, whatever we have taken from here, if you see the arc here we drawn, the same length, remember the same length from again from this portion we have to draw. And now if you draw this one, then these two arcs intersect each other at one place. Is it clear? All of you understood this one? So what you have to do, first of all from B you have to draw two lines and then create an angle, any angle. So this angle mentioned in your question. So now here the angle not mentioned, just theoretically you have to do. So that's why we take any angle here, and after that this angle intersect at two places. So from here this intersecting place taking as a center, we draw an arc, and the same length whatever we have taken from this point, again we draw the arc. Is it clear? So now you see here these two arcs intersect at one place. These two the arcs and intersect at one place. Is it clear? And after that what you have to do? Now we have to join from B this intersecting place. Is it clear? So if we join these two, now let's see here. If we join these two, if we join here these two, what we get? You see. If we join, then we get this type of line here. Now if we denote this line is suppose D, if we denote this line is suppose D, now here this line is known as bisector and it is known as angle bisector. Is it clear? Angle bisector, which one is, we have to find out bisector. Why? If we draw like in this way, these two angles are, one angle is this one and another angle is this one. These two angles are always what? Equal. Is it clear? So this one is known as angle bisector. So if anyone asks you to draw an angle bisector, so in this way we have to draw. Is it clear? Okay. Now the first one is very simple, is not it? Which one is the bisector, or which one we can say angle bisector. So after completing the angle bisector, now if you see the second one, the construction 11.2, and in this case what you have to do to construct the perpendicular bisector of a given line segment. So that means what? A line given to us, and here we have to find out the perpendicular bisector. Perpendicular bisector means what? Like angle bisector, that means the angle separate into two equal parts. Is not it? Now in this case, here perpendicular bisector means what? Perpendicular bisector means if a line given to us, this line we have to separate into two equal parts by a perpendicular line. So how can we draw this perpendicular line here? So this one we have to discuss here, and this line is known as perpendicular bisector. Is it clear? So let's see how can we do this one. So first of all here, what you have to do, first of all we have to draw a baseline. So if we draw a baseline, suppose the baseline is this one. If you see here, the baseline is, if we draw a line here, and the baseline is, we consider this one suppose. Is it clear? And which one we represent? Suppose this one is A and here we represent by B suppose. First of all, any line, this length in exam given to you, but here we consider any line, which one is AB. Now we consider this AB a line here. Then after taking this one, now what you have to do? We have to draw a perpendicular bisector. So perpendicular means, all of you know perpendicular means how much? 90 degree, is not it? So perpendicular is 90 degrees. So that means here we have to draw a line in such a way that the line perpendicular to this AB line. Is it clear? So how can we draw this one? So here what you have to do? First of all, in this case, here A and B, two endpoints are there. So this A we have to consider as a center, and B also we have to consider as center. And now what you have to do? We have to draw two arcs, and the arcs are, we have to consider in such a way that more than half length of this given line. Is it clear? So that means if we consider taking A as a center, that means this portion is almost half. That means you have to take 1/3 portion. So 1/3 portion means obviously up to this. Is it clear? You see here. Here less than, if you take less than part of the given line, then it is not possible to find out the perpendicular bisector. Is it clear? For perpendicular bisector, how much length we need here? More than half. That means 1/3 length. Suppose this one is almost more than half here, so we have to consider more than half length. And now taking A as a center, and now here what you have to do? We have to draw an arc. Suppose the arc we drawn like in this way. So the same length, whatever the length we drawn from here, the same length we have to take from B now. Taking B as a center, again we have to draw an arc. So if you draw an arc, now you see here this arc again intersect the earlier arc at one place. Is not it? Okay. Listen carefully here. Taking A as a center, and then we have to, what you have to do? Taking A as a center, and then we have to draw an arc here. Is it clear? Then again what you have to do? Taking B as a center, taking the same length, whatever the length we have to consider here, from B we have to draw an arc. Is it clear? So the same process we have to do in the lower part also. Here this one is the upper downward. Here in lower part also we have to do the same process, taking same length. So now in this case what you have to do, taking A as a center, and then we have to, what you have to do, we have to draw an arc. So suppose the arc is this one. Is it clear? And now in this case, if we consider B as a center, then again we have, what we have to do, we have to draw the arc here. Suppose this one is the arc, if you see. So here also the arcs are we get here. On both cases, you see, in upper part and lower part, in both part we draw the arc taking same length. Is it clear? So after drawing the arc, that means this arc intersect at two places, isn't it? And which one is, we denote, suppose this one is, if we denote the intersecting arc is here P, and if you denote this one is suppose Q. Now here what you have to do, we have to join this P and Q. Is it clear? So if we join this P and Q, this PQ intersect AB at one place, is not it? And which one is, we denoted by M. So now in this case what you have to do, if you draw the line here, so now if you draw the line here, then this line intersect AB at one place. So if we mention this point is M, now here this PQ line is known as perpendicular bisector. Perpendicular bisector. Perpendicular bisector. All of you understood this one? So it is known as perpendicular bisector. Is it clear? So first of all, what we have done, if we recall this one, we first draw AB a baseline, and taking 1/3 portion of this line and taking A as the center, draw an arc here. From B again we draw an arc, is not it? So the same thing, same length, we have to draw the arc in lower part here also, and then after that we have to denote some name here PQ, and then we have to join this PQ, and when we join this PQ intersect AB at one place, which one is, we denoted by M. Now how can we say this one is bisector? Bisector means totally separate into two equal parts. So with the help of scale, if you measure these two lengths, AB or BM, oh sorry, AM and BM, if you measure here, obviously you get same length. If you get same length, that means easily we can say yes, PQ is what, a perpendicular bisector, or also we can say this M is what, a midpoint. Is it clear? So very simple, is in this way we can draw the perpendicular bisector. Is it clear? Okay, after construction 11.2, now the next construction 11.3 is what here given. So we have to construct an angle of 60 degrees. So this one is very important. How can we draw and construct of angle 60 degree? We have to discuss here. Is it clear? So now let's see how can we do this one. So for this one, first of all, what we need a baseline. So if we consider the baseline is here, suppose this one is the baseline, if we draw, and the baseline is we mention by, if this one is B, and at this place, if suppose this one is, what we have to do, we have to consider C. Is it clear? So after taking this one is the baseline here BC, now here easily we can draw the 60 degree angle here. For that reason, what you have to do here, first of all, we have to consider an arc. So any arc you can consider, 50%, more than 50%, less than 50%, any arc you can consider here. Suppose we consider any angle here, and now taking B as a center. What you have to do, taking B as a center, and then we have to draw an arc. Suppose the arc we draw, and the arc is this one. Any arc we can draw, so that's why we have to draw an arc, and the arc is this one. Is it clear? Now one thing you remember here, whatever the length you have considered here, remember whatever the length you consider here, the same length you have to consider from here also. Reason behind, you see here, first of all, when we take B as a center and draw an arc, so this arc intersect BC at one place, is not it? So when we take B as a center and draw an arc, this arc intersect BC at one place, and which one we denoted by D. Is it clear? So if you denoted by D, the length is here, we consider this one. So the same length we have to consider, and taking next time D as a center. So taking D as a center, and again you have to draw an arc. You see here, again we have to draw an arc. Is it clear? First of all, what you have done, taking B as a center and draw an arc in this way, and then after that the intersecting arc intersecting at one place of BC, which one is D. So from this D again we have to draw an arc, is not it? And now in this case we have to denote this one is, suppose this place is, we have to denote it by E. Is it clear? Is it clear? Okay, now after mentioning this one is E, now from this B we have to join this E and increase the line. So now in this case, if you join these two, you see here, if we join these two, B, E, now obviously the line we get like in this way, is not it? If we join B, E, so if we join B, E, then the line we get in this way, and which one we represent here by A. Is it clear? Now after that, with the help of protractor, if we measure this angle, so all of you know how to measure angle. So if we measure this angle, so this angle is always, we get how much? 60 degree. Is it clear? Very simple. So in this way we can construct 60 degree angle. So if we recall this one more time, first of all what you have to do, we have to draw a baseline, which one is BC we consider. Is it clear? Then after that, taking B as a center and draw any arc. When we draw an arc here, this arc intersect BC at one place D. So the same length we have to consider, and taking from D as a center, we have to draw an arc again. So this arc intersect the earlier arc at one place, which one is we denoted by E. And then after that, what you have to do, we have to join this B, E and increase the line. And then we mention it is A. So this ABC is our required angle, and this angle is always 60 degree. Is it clear? So in this way we can construct 60 degree angle. So I think all of you understood this one. So in our next class we have to continue this exercise. So before this, first of all you have to construct this tree properly in your home, and let's check out whether you know or not. So which tree? Bisector, perpendicular bisector and 60 degree angle. Is it clear? Okay, thank you.